All right, welcome back into another edition of Jake's Takes. I am your host, Jake Masucci, and today I got on special guest, my guy, Jack Gohlke. And Jack, I am super excited to have you back on. Now we can say it, March Madness legend, Jack Gohlke is here. Jack, how are we feeling, man? You feeling good?
I'm feeling great. Yeah, it's great to be here on Jake's Takes. I'm excited to be back. We recorded a great NFL pod a week or two ago, and it's time for round two of us chopping it up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And gosh, we had just an unbelievable week. I mean, going through it, we recorded a podcast last Sunday. Okay. This was NFL stuff. We didn't know who we were going to play. We talked about how we'd be a scary team to see in March. And then we get Kentucky. You know, I hear nobody talking about Oakland beating Kentucky. I heard nobody saying it. And I'm getting
Nobody.
mad in my head. I talked about it all on Jake's Takes. Like, gosh, we deserve more respect. You know, we're going to come out ready to go. And then when I knew that we were going to win the game, I want to tell the story before I start asking questions. But when I knew we were going to win the game, I walked into your room because you share a room with the GA. I walked in and we're talking about laundry or whatever, and I hear Jack Gohlke vibing to country music, ready to go in his room, just ready for the game. And I'm like, man, Jack is gonna have a monster game. We're gonna win. It's already over. It's
Absolutely.
already over. But talk to me about this Kentucky game. You had 10 threes in this game, just went absolutely ballistic. And you're the man of America right now. You're the most famous man in America. So talk to me about the experience of being inside the game and just being that on fire.
Oh man, it was awesome. Obviously, like to just be in that type of environment. I was just trying to soak it all in, man. There were times where um, I was just walking out of the huddle early because I just wanted to stand at center court and kind of spin around and look at the arena. To be honest
Yeah.
with you, because that place was electric during that game, and in our game Saturday too.
Yeah.
Um, the crowd in Pittsburgh, I can't say enough about them. It was really good. That was the biggest arena I've ever played in, and at one point it was like completely full, kind of towards the end of our game because the fans for the other teams had uh, had gotten in there. So um, the atmosphere of the game was amazing. Obviously, you had Big Blue Nation was there. They were
Yeah.
obviously cheering their team on, and just the ultimate stage you can ask for. A game on prime time TV, 7 o'clock, Kentucky, like everything just added up to be perfect. And um, I just wanted to go out there, man, and seize the opportunity. I didn't go out there with the intention to take 23s, but any game that I can get 23s up in,
Yep.
I know I'm going to be successful because if they're guarding me like that, I'm going to get some easy looks and things like that to get my rhythm going. And so I knew it was going to be a good night. And like you said, I mean, the country music was flowing earlier in the day. I listen to everything, but sometimes that's what I need to calm my mind down a little bit rather than some rap or whatever it is to hype me up because obviously I was already going to be pretty amped up for the game as it
Yeah.
is. So yeah, I mean, just tremendous atmosphere, and it was just a stage that you always dream of, and to be able to play there, much less get a win like that, just amazing, just amazing.
Yeah. I mean, and right after the game, like, I got in the locker room and everybody's just going crazy, absolutely crazy. Like, you know, awesome experience. And then I'm seeing all over my phone. It's Jack Gohlke, Jack Gohlke, Jack Gohlke, just everywhere, completely. And I see the post game because like I'm in the locker room doing stuff, so I see the post game not till late, and I hear the "We're not a Cinderella." And I'm like, oh man, that hit hard. Wow, Jack, that's amazing. So, I mean, talk to me about just all of the media right after the game. Like, you get the post game interview. This is just, it's every player's dream. So, talk to me about that. Like, after the game, just seeing the media completely swarm you like that.
Yeah, I mean, my dream was never never had anything to do with the media. To be honest, it was the game itself was my dream, to get out on that stage and play that type of game. And I didn't really realize, like what happened. I realized as we're leaving the floor, before Mike grabbed me to do the first interview,
Yeah.
we're kind of just on the floor, like getting ready to leave, and I was just soaking it in, like looking at the Oakland fans, thanking them for being there. You know what I mean? And I was just like, wow, we just won a huge basketball game.
Yeah.
Like it was a big game, but it didn't feel like an event. You know what I mean? It was like, oh,
Yeah.
we won a
No, I
basketball
got
game,
you. Hmm.
like good stuff. And then I get on the first interview, and they're like, yeah, America was watching. I'm standing there with Campy, blah blah blah, and then I was just kind of in the heat of the moment. I was obviously confident how we just beat Kentucky, and all week I had been telling everybody like we got to go into these games with this mindset, all that stuff. So yeah, I just grabbed the mic and I was like, we're not a Cinderella, like we belong here. And obviously, um, some people were like, oh, this is just going to be a one hit wonder, like you're going to lose the next game, and we did. We lost the next game, but I
Yeah.
mean that doesn't that doesn't make us. I don't, in my opinion, that doesn't make us a Cinderella. We competed to the end. It's not like we got blown out. A game could have gone either way, but more so than that, it was just. I don't think the game against Kentucky was a fluke. Like I think if we go and
No.
play that game again, I think we have just as good a chance to win. And I just think we were a really good team, so it wasn't a Cinderella thing. And then I mean, we get into the locker room like you said, and it was exciting. We're all happy and all that good stuff. But when I went back out to talk to my parents, I was like, okay, I'll just walk around the side of this arena and go get to my parents.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all of a sudden, people just start following me, trying to take pictures and stuff. And I was like, why? Like, I mean, yeah, I
Yeah.
had a good game, but like I've had good games before, and no one wants to take pictures with me. So that was kind of when I started to realize like maybe something happened here, but I
Yeah.
didn't really know what was going on. But I was just like, okay, like I'll take pictures with these people, you know what I mean? And then we go on the actual like NCAA post game interview, and then stuff just starts rolling in, and I felt like I was there until midnight doing media. But it was cool. Yeah, I mean, just
Oh, don't worry. We were there until midnight doing media. Trust me, I know. But I mean,
yeah,
it was awesome. It was flat out awesome, man. And like continuing with that, we're both sports geeks. Like we talked NFL for almost an hour and a half on the last podcast. We are sports geeks completely. So being on all these shows, it must have been just kind of a dream come true. Like, not like you were saying, the dream was to play in the basketball game, but like a cool moment for you. So, talk to me about like what was your favorite interview that you did where you were just like goosebumps, doing it.
yeah, yeah. Like right after the game, well, not right after, but it's the first thing we did was we got called in. It's like, all right, we're gonna hop on Scott Van Pelt so that he can play this on his midnight show. And that's just
You
something that
said
I
so
always
casual.
remember watching. That I always remember watching as a kid, like watching a game, and then all of a sudden here comes Scott Van Pelt. He's going to give you his one big thing, and then he's going to give you his bad beats and all that stuff. And I just really loved his show. So to go on there with Camp was really sweet. Something I never imagined I would be on his show. For him to be excited to have me on his show and asking me questions and stuff like that, that was really cool. That was the one, and it happened right away. That I was like, wow, that's big time.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean the show I just listened to was Part of My Take because it just came out today.
Yeah,
And like those guys are awesome. Like I hear them all the time and they're the
yeah,
number one sports podcast in the world. So like being a podcaster like me, that having you on that show, like that's crazy, absolutely crazy. Talk to me about that experience a little bit with Big Cat and all those guys.
yeah. Going on PMT was cool. I've definitely listened to their podcast before. I know some guys that are like Stooley super fans
Yeah,
who
yeah.
were just like insanely amped that I was going on their show and all this stuff, and it was cool to chop it up with them. They're obviously really funny guys, and I came out of it thinking like, oh, like that went pretty well, but it wasn't like I didn't think it was as good as I did on the McAfee or
Yeah.
that type of thing, and but everyone who listened to it said it was really good, so that's obviously a good thing, and they invited me out, so on Thursday I'm actually going out to the studio and we're gonna watch some games, and then we're gonna film a video Friday, so that'll be fun.
That's sweet.
Uh, Spend some time with them and kind of just hang out at their place, and I guess just make some content.
That's sweet, man. That's really, really cool. And then adding on to that stuff, right after NIL stuff. And this was the day after, okay? We're in the hotel and Luke and I are working on the jerseys and we're in the other ballroom, right? And we're like putting new patches on the jerseys and stuff. And we hear you and Trey making these commercials in the other room with TurboTax and all the other ones. And I mean, talk to me about that. Like the NIL deals were coming in, and I remember you saying, "I don't want anything to do with it. It's all my guys.
Yeah.
They got me going." So, talk to me about what your plans are with this NIL stuff and capitalizing on it right now.
Yeah, so my guys did a great job. Just two of my buddies, I was like, you guys got to handle it because I got a game to prepare for. And they basically just sent me what I needed to do, knocked it out, and it all worked out well. Right now, I'm just trying to, I'm lucky to have these opportunities and things like that. So just trying to take advantage and be smart with which ones I'm picking to do and which ones I'm going to avoid. And yeah, just I guess take advantage of my image right now. And it's like I said, it's kind of weird for me. Like I just feel like the same person I was a week ago, but now people are going to pay for me to say stuff. So, so I mean, I'm going to take advantage of that and just try to give myself a little springboard into the future, whether it's with like running a basketball camp maybe or things like that, just to get my name out there. And I think it'll be good for me going forward to have some influence.
For sure, for sure. That moves into the next thing, okay? And I I've always found like hard workers to be like magnetic. Like those are people that I tend to like just be like, okay, this person is exactly who I want to be. And this is exactly like the person that's my guy. I like those
Yeah, yeah,
people
yeah.
that work hard. And your work ethic is one of the best I've ever been around, 100%. And
Appreciate that.
I see it day in, day out. Okay. I'm the first one in the gym every day because I'm there almost an hour and a half before practice, getting everything ready. And then the next person that walks in every day is you. Every single day, and then we're chopping up NFL every single day. And
That's right.
that's just how it is. And I wanted you to talk about like what drives you to be the best basketball player you can be, because I see it in practice every day. You're so competitive with your jump shot. Like if you're missing that, you excuse my language, I might have to bleep
No,
that out on the podcast. But I mean, like it's something that I respect because that's your competitiveness and that's just you. So tell me about like what drives you to be that basketball player.
yeah. There's so much that goes into it, or like just so many levels of it. Like like when I'm working out, I'm I'm so animated like that, and I'm throwing balls, whatever it may be, just because I'm trying to like I have super high expectations of myself, so I want to perform at the highest level, and I almost try to get that out of my system, like this is a safe space. I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna be a drama queen,
Yeah.
whatever it may be. And then once the game starts, I'm gonna be as even keeled as I possibly can. And I have the last couple of years like played with a lot more emotion. I used to not really like celebrate or do anything like that or talk any trash. And as I've gotten older, I've done that more. And I think that's just because I've got more relaxed out there and stuff like that. But I try not to get like down on the court. Like if I miss a couple shots, I'm not going to throw a ball or anything when I'm out on the court. But in a workout, I might. And that's just yeah, it's just like you said, that competitiveness. I always want to be making shots, and I think the work ethic also just comes from I just love basketball so much, and I feel so lucky that I've been able to play it for as long as I have. I'll continue to be able to play it, and obviously that comes with an investment of hard work. But man, just to get all my school paid for, 2 degrees because of basketball. All of a sudden, all these new opportunities are coming up because of basketball. It's like I owe the game this tremendous amount of dedication, and I'm going to keep giving it that. And it's just the only way I know how to do things, to be honest with you. And it's just a process. I mean, from the beginning of when I started playing when I was a kid, I worked hard, but there's always levels to it. I mean, when you're a kid, you're not going to be working as hard as you are in high school, and when you're in high school, not as hard as in college, and now I'm going to have to take it to another level when I want to try to be a pro. So yeah, I mean, it's just a mindset. and it's honestly like it's one of those things where I just love it. So I know I'm working hard and I feel like I'm working hard, but I don't feel like I'm really sacrificing anything because I genuinely love to go to the gym and break a sweat and especially like the camaraderie of it too. Like, don't get me wrong, like I'll go in and I'll work out by myself when I need to, but like going in, like you said, with you in the morning, we get to chop up a little football and then we start to get our work in, or if I'm with Bobby in the gym and we're chopping up, just building relationships. That I mean, some of my closest friends and my best relationships have come from that. And that's when you spend that much time in the gym with people and put that much sweat equity into it, you're going to build tremendous relationships, and those will go a long way in things outside of basketball too.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you nailed it right in the head. Like, you know, working that hard is, it just opens doors in your life. It's just the truth, you
Yeah,
know, and that's what I try to do in almost everything I do. And trust me, dude, you do a fantastic job of it. I see it every single day. So,
I gotta give you credit too, though, man. Like you said, you're always the first one there, and it's obviously. I mean, I got lucky, and all of a sudden these things are happening for me. But I know you're gonna keep your head on straight. You're gonna keep working, and this podcast is gonna blow up. So yeah, just keep doing your thing.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So one more question for you, man. How does it feel that the ride's over? I mean, like it was an unbelievable season, and we talked about it, just how great it was, and we beat Kentucky. You know, an unbelievable game with NC State. Just talk to me about the ride, and has it set in that it's finally over?
Dude, to be honest with you, like it is. I am incredibly at peace with the end of the season. Like I thought I was gonna be super upset that we're not going to the Sweet 16. And don't get me wrong, like as a competitor, I obviously like I would give anything to be in the Sweet 16. But that's the thing, like I did give everything to go to the Sweet 16, and it didn't happen. Like you were saying, I was in there every day doing my work. I was helping the team. My teammates were helping me. My coaches were helping me. All of you guys as managers contributed so much this season. Like every single person that was involved in it gave their all, and we all saw that. So at the end of the day, in anything in life, whether it's basketball, work, family, if you know that you put in all the effort you can, you're gonna end up satisfied with the results. Because and you might like if you told me, say we ended this season and we didn't win the tournament, we got second or whatever it is. If I had done the exact same preparation up until that point, I would have the exact same feeling deep down right now. I wouldn't have the same stuff going on for me outwardly that I do, obviously, but that kind of goes also along with working hard, as I've learned that. It really just is, man. If you put the preparation in, and once you learn like what's required, if you put it in and the results don't come or they do come, you can live with them because you did what you were supposed to do, and sometimes things happen for you, sometimes they don't. At the end of the day, there's always going to be a little bit of luck involved in anything that you do, and I think the harder you work, the more it's going to go on your side. But obviously, results can the chips will fall as they may, and I guess where I'm getting at is in a long-winded way is if you put the time in, you're going to be satisfied with the results. I'm telling you, I'm telling the people out there. If you haven't put the time in before, and that's why you think you're not satisfied with and that's why you're not satisfied with the results, I'm telling you to put it in, and you'll be satisfied.
For sure, for sure. Well, Jack, thank you so much for joining the show, man. I mean, this has been a lot of fun. One more thing before we go: is there any NFL stuff you want to talk about? I wanted to give you the floor if you wanted to. There wasn't too much NFL news, but if you got anything, I'm more than willing to talk about it.
I appreciate you giving me the stage. If I'm being honest with you, I have absolutely zero idea what has happened in the NFL in the past 100 hours or however long it is. I am the only thing I understand that's going on right now is what I have in the next 30 minutes. But that being said, if you give me a team right now, let's throw a random team out there, and I'll give you my thoughts on their upcoming prospects for the season based on what I currently know.
Okay. Let's go with the Green Bay Packers. Let's
The
just go with
Green Bay
yep,
Packers.
yep, yep.
So, as of this moment in time, I'm going to go record prediction 10-7.
Okay.
They're going to be the 7 seed, but they're going to
Lions win
win.
the division.
Lions win the division.
Yeah.
Packers are going to go 10-7. They're going to lose their first playoff game, and this is what's going to happen. Everyone's going to freak out because we had a technically worse season than this past season.
Mm-hmm.
Sky is falling, because this is always what happens. And then the next season, we're going to win 12 games. And that's going to be the real season. Because there's too much hype on Jordan Love going into this season, I'm
Okay.
telling you.
Okay.
He's a great player, but we're acting like he's Rodgers or Favre already. And I think he's going to be there in a couple of years potentially. But the tremendous play that he had down the stretch, we're acting like that's a guarantee for 17 games, and it's just not. Like,
Yeah.
I hope he comes out, and I'm sure he's grinding this offseason, and I hope he comes out and has a tremendous season. And I think he'll have a great season, but I don't think it's going to be MVP caliber. So I think we're going to get a very similar season to last year on the whole, and then I'm hoping the year after that is when we really build on it.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are definitely still young and still building. So, I mean, with Green Bay,
Exactly.
like, I would just expect maybe a little improvement. I wouldn't expect like improvement in the fact that win 2 playoff games, but
Yeah.
like, maybe a little bit of a build from what Jordan Love was last year, and like your O-line. Your O-line's really, really good, and hopefully it continues to be that way. So
Yeah.
I kind of like that take with Green Bay. I think it'll definitely be interesting. But Jack, thank you so much for joining the show, man. I mean, this has been a lot of fun. I did want to say we're still going to the NFL draft, right? It's still happening.
As long as I am in town at that point, I'll be there.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
be
I
there.
mean, you got the connections now. Like we could easily sneak our way in there, and
Yeah, maybe I should hit up Goodell.
Yeah, if you hit up Goodell, I mean, it'll definitely happen. We'll get a box or something. I mean, me, you, and Luke just chilling in there, man.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
For sure, for sure. Well, big thank you to Jack Gohlke for joining the show, and that's going to wrap up the show for today. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll see you next time. Peace.